If you have ever played a multiplayer game, then without a doubt you have joined a lobby. But if for some reason you don't know what a lobby is, then you might not be the brightest bean on the shelf, so I'll tell you exactly what it is. But before I do, I need to tell all my new viewers that I've been making a hide-and-seek multiplayer game with cute chameleons. And it's officially time for me to redesign my horrible lobby. This dull and minimal design is just not going to cut it. So, to answer the question from before, a lobby is a staging area where all the players can get ready before they are ready to enter the final level that they all will be playing in. Think of it as a special place to gear up and get ready for war. Now that everybody knows exactly what a lobby is and the importance of it, you need to understand why it is so important for me to redesign my lobby entirely. You see, the old lobby was actually based on the idea of a dirt cave with special rocks that helped the players change color. And there was actually a chest in the center where you could actually choose and change different outfits. To put it frankly, this was complete garbage and had no realism, so let's scrap it. Everybody say goodbye to the old lobby. Since we're starting from scratch, it was time to put my mind into overdrive and start cooking up a good idea layout for the lobby. So I decided to go to Photoshop, start getting some references, and start drawing out an idea. So I had a pretty general idea of where I wanted everything to be at and the placements, but I did know that everything needed to be squared off and there could be no circle or round edges. Great, sweet beans. Now that the layout is all complete, we need to figure out what type of a level we're designing here. This is where I really let the creative juices mix. So I took a mixture of realism and actual facts about chameleons and some of my favorite art styles and mashed them all up together. If you didn't know this, chameleons prefer to inhabit and live in trees. Ficus trees to be exact. So I pondered on why not making a giant treehouse. This would actually be the perfect thing for me because I can customize it any way I want to. So you know me, once I have the idea in my head, I hurry up and rush over to Photoshop and start rough sketching and getting a pretty rough draft idea of what I want the lobby to look like. Now I'd be lying if I said I didn't take any inspiration from the treehouse from Adventure Time, but I mean come on, who didn't love that show as a kid? And ta-da, here's the rough sketch. Now this is the part where I can actually start going into Unity and start working on it. But this is the part that I dread the most, working on the tile maps. But hey, I sucked it up, put on my big boy pants and got to work. But 48 hours later and many cups of coffee, we have this. We have these nice squeaky clean floorboards and some dull tan walls that we're gonna add some detail on later on. Okay, so the basic shape is pretty much all there. Now we just need to add a little bit more. I think the next big issue that needs to be tackled is actually the location of where each player should spawn. In the previous lobby, you would spawn at the specific colored rock that you were set on. And there was this janky hatching from an egg animation that I was not too happy about. So it's time for another animation change. For this type of spawning animation, I was aiming for a cute but also soothing touch. So I thought, what's more adorable than a cute little reptile dozing off? So every time a player spawns in, they spawn in at 10 of the different transform positions that I have already located in the game, and you are set a specific color at random. And I added a little snoozing bubble, and if you wait about 2 seconds, it'll pop and wake the chameleon up. But you can't forget about the soft and comfortable mossy bed that a chameleon needs to fall asleep in. And if I didn't mention it before, you should probably subscribe. That would mean a lot. Now back to the video. Okay, so our lobby is still missing a few essential details, so let's add that in. My idea was to allow the players to be able to change their different outfits, change their colors, choose and pick what type of tools they want to buy and purchase, change which map you want to go to, also buy and switch out different pets, and one of my favorites, add a leaderboard system. From my point of view, I was trying to add every feature I possibly could think of in this lobby so players don't complain about not having everything they need. There are some games where you can't change the certain settings in a lobby, which can make a player very frustrated. But as you can see, that is not my intention, because once again I had opened Adobe Illustrator and put my art skills to good use. So I ended up adding some counters, different colored rugs and carpets. I actually added some clothing racks and shelves for the clothes. And I also decided to add a lower deck, which I think adds a nice touch. This is probably my favorite part because you get to see how everything comes together. Now we're finally at the good part. Now that all the artwork has been dragged into Unity and been placed on the scene, I need to start giving these game objects some functions. Take this egg in the center of the map, for example. This egg actually needs to give the player the ability to change different colors, which means I had to take the old menus that I used before and change them up a little bit and make them a little bit more unique. So if the player actually wants to change color, they have to go to the egg, press the button in the right hand corner, and a menu will slide up and you'll see a color wheel. From my perspective, it only made sense to make a color wheel, and with the press of a button, you are able to change different colors. Well, as long as someone else hasn't taken your color already. As far as the changing outfits, hats, and skins menu, I kept that mostly the same, but I am going to have to change up the color scheme and the layout a little bit. As for the pets menu, I actually kept that the same, but the difference is I added a cool gargoyle looking statue. It might look strange at first, but the thing is, this game has a little bit of Greek mythology mixed in, which helps you understand a little bit better. Next up, we have the map changer menu. Now for this menu, it's pretty simple. You literally just change the destination of where you want to go. But don't pay any mind to these images, these are just placeholders for the moment. The same can be said for the tools menu. I can't go full into depth about the tools menu because that's also linked to the next devlog after this. All you need to know is the game of hide and seek is about to become much more difficult. And for the last and final menu, we have the leaderboard menu. Currently, we just have these numbers with different names on them, but eventually once the game goes multiplayer, you'll be having different ranks. And so far, that's about it that's changed. Well, except for these cute little chameleon dolls. It almost makes me think, could I get a wee hidden chameleon doll plushie? Oh, no, I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. Okay, so for the last and final thing that I actually want to say is I want to start working on animating tile sets. Not only does 2D rigging bring my game to life, but if I could somehow add 2D animating tile sets, my game would look drop dead gorgeous. But I'll save that for the next devlog. But keep your eyes peeled and your ear holes stretched for my next video, and I'll catch you guys next time.